As individual journalists, maybe it's difficult to dedicate time to this, but I see more and more news organizations that have impact editors, and I think this is good news. I'm Pierre Leibovici. I'm working as an environment editor for Disclose. Disclose is a French independent website who's focusing its investigative efforts on arms sales, environmental crimes, and human rights abuses. Many of us maybe justify our work by saying, I will reveal misconduct and hope society will take these facts and instigate change. Well, most of the time this is not how things happen. So, of course, every investigative journalist should care about impact, as this is what we aim to do when we do investigative reporting. I think the first thing for an impactful investigation would be strategic planning. What impact do you hope to produce? Who are the main stakeholders you want to reach? How are you going to reach them? Are you going to email them, to meet them at an event, etc.? So strategic planning is definitely the first thing to do when you're preparing the impact of your investigation. My second recommendation would be to find local allies. And by that I mean the communities that are the most affected by the issue you're covering. This could be people affected by pollution, for example, by a factory, or workers whose rights have been abused. Usually we try to partner or to warn some local communities of our incoming investigation for them to take action after our revelations. To give you an example, earlier this year, Disclose has been revealing that France was sending weapons equipment to Israel that may be used in Gaza. And so we alerted a union of dockers in a port about this incoming shipment, and then the union dockers blocked the shipment. So this is a kind of very concrete, simple impact, but very powerful, because the story made all the headlines on the day we published it. Third, I would say contact as many stakeholders as you can. We, small newsrooms, don't have a lot of resources. At Disclose, we are 6 people, but as we don't publish a lot of investigations, we try to map out all the stakeholders we can get in touch with prior to the publication of our investigation and on the day it is released. So my advice would be to wear your PR suit, and to transform yourself in a PR comms manager for a few days, just alerting the right people that you will be revealing these facts and that might be of interest for them. You don't push for more, but you remain a journalist, but you ensure that these people are aware about what you are going to publish. Another recommendation I would have for an impactful investigation would be to find the right tool to monitor the impact you make. At Disclose, we've been building a framework of all the impacts we are tracking. Some of them could be a mention in another media, our work that could be quoted at the parliament, etc. So we have 20 types of impact we monitor, and for each of them, we use some kind of automated alerts, for example, to see if our name pops up in the parliament or in other media. So my advice would be to find the right framework that is adapted to your mission and, of course, to your resources, and then to build a database. This is what we've been doing at Disclose. So far, in 2025, we've been monitoring more than 400 impacts for our work. And to give you an example, last year, Disclose work was mentioned in the French Parliament 25 times. So these are very concrete impacts that you can then explain to your audience. For an impactful investigation, you should, of course, communicate about your impact. You should tell your public what has happened after you published an investigation. And so at Disclose, we try to follow up our investigations with emails or dedicated reports 1 year or 3 years after an investigation has occurred. And telling people, okay, you took some time at one moment to just read our investigation. We have the responsibility to tell you what has happened and sometimes what has not happened since then. And so I think being transparent about the results in the real world of your investigation is a key thing to build impactful investigations in the long run. I think even if you speak about impact, even if you look for impact, you still have, of course, to maintain your journalistic integrity. This is a frequent debate we have at Disclose. To which extent shall we look for impact? Of course, we aim for change on the issues we cover. So this is my first answer about that. The difference between our work and, let's say, an NGO work is that Disclose won't go to the court to sue a company that has been polluting the environment, for example. So we have this strict border where we can, of course, get in touch with stakeholders, the people who have the power to change things, but we limit our role to this contact, to this peer work, if I could say. And then we get in touch with those who can push for more actions. So this is NGOs, associations, citizens who can act on the ground. And we don't tell them, you should do that. We just tell them to look at our revelations, and then we hope they will do something with them.